Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, if you're a business owner, you definitely know this frustration. You build a gorgeous website, put it out there, and when customers search for you, absolute crickets. Today, we're taking the mystery right out of page one visibility. We're going to use the comprehensive service architecture of First Page Ranks, a leading digital agency based out of Panipat, India, as our literal blueprint to figure out how search engines actually evaluate and rank your site. Which brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? What does it actually take to rank on page one? It's the exact pain point of digital invisibility that pretty much every local entrepreneur faces at some point. You're either on page one, capturing the market, or you're, well, practically invisible. But here's the thing. Ranking isn't magic. It's a highly structured, data-driven process, and we're going to break it down together. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First, the First Page Ranks blueprint. 2, inside your website's DNA. 3, building your digital trust. 4, dominating local search. And finally, the cost of ranking. Let's peel back the layers of this complex agency strategy to see how search engines really tick. Part 1, the First Page Ranks blueprint, visibility, relevance, and performance. Think of this as the architectural foundation for your brand's entire digital growth. Now, the absolute core philosophy driving modern optimization, and you'll see this highlighted heavily in our source material, is prioritizing real user behavior over short-term spikes. You know, back in the early days of the internet, people tried to game the system, right? Keyword stuffing, shady rapid-fire tactics, it was the Wild West. But today, search engines are incredibly smart. They reward websites that align their structure and content with real search intent. It's literally all about providing a genuinely valuable, readable experience for the actual human looking at the page, rather than chasing temporary algorithm loopholes that'll just get your site penalized down the road. Let's clear up a classic point of confusion in the digital marketing space: on-page versus off-page optimization. To really grasp this blueprint, you've got to separate these two distinct battlegrounds. On-page optimization is exactly what it sounds like. Well, actually, it's everything happening on your site. The content you write, the keywords, the underlying code, you have 100% control over this whole shebang. Off-page optimization, on the other hand, is what happens across the rest of the web. It's your reputation, your mentions, and the authority you build elsewhere. And here's the kicker. You absolutely need both working in perfect harmony to succeed. Moving on to part 2, inside your website's DNA. Technical and on-page SEO. Let's pop the hood of a hypothetical business website and see what makes it tick, technically speaking. So the crucial point here is understanding what technical SEO actually does. It means ensuring your website is easily crawlable, indexable, and fast-loading for search engines and users. I mean, you could have the most beautifully written content in the world, but if search engine bots can't read your site's code, or if your page takes 10 agonizing seconds to load, which, let's be honest, is a total eternity in internet time, users are just going to bounce. You're going nowhere. If this technical foundation is broken, nothing else you do even matters. Let's look at what the source identifies as the core website DNA. These are basically the heavy hitters for fine-tuning your site's code. We've got meta, title, and description optimization. That's the clickable text you actually see in Google results. Fast page load speed, which keeps impatient users from bailing. Keyword placement to ensure terms are woven naturally into your text. Schema markup implementation, which is basically feeding search engines a highly structured cheat sheet so they know exactly what your page is about. And, of course, mobile responsiveness, because, well, the vast majority of searches are happening right in the palms of our hands. But what happens when things go terribly wrong? The source details a very specific penalty recovery process. Step 1, identify algorithm or spam penalty. Step 2, clean toxic links. Step 3, restore SEO rankings. This is essentially digital triage. If a site previously used spammy tactics, actually, scratch that, even if they just accidentally ended up with bad links and got slapped by Google, an agency has to go in, diagnose the exact algorithmic strike, clean out that digital rot, and slowly, painstakingly rebuild that lost visibility. It shows you exactly how severe digital damage gets repaired. All right, part 3, building your digital trust. Off-page strategies. Because having a technically perfect website simply isn't enough if search engines don't actually trust it. Which brings us to a really vital concept, white hat SEO. This means using ethical optimization techniques that strictly follow search engine guidelines to improve your rankings securely. An agency like First Page Ranks acts as a digital guardian here, strictly avoiding any of those risky shortcuts. And why? Because protecting a brand's long-term credibility is infinitely more valuable than some fleeting spike in traffic that ends in a permanent catastrophic ban from search results. It's just not worth it. So how do you ethically earn this trust? Earning authority happens through high-quality backlink building. Think of those as digital votes of confidence from reputable websites. It also happens through digital PR and media mentions that get your brand in the news, guest posting on respected industry blogs, and social media profile optimization. These are all external signals sent directly to search engines saying, hey, this brand is reliable, it's authoritative, and real people are actively engaging with them. Now for part 4, dominating local search, capturing nearby intent. If you're a local retail shop or, say, a clinic in Panipat, you don't necessarily want or need global traffic. You need foot traffic right in your neighborhood. For these types of businesses, proximity signals and trusted listings are what drive local discovery. Meeting the exact user intent behind near me searches requires a completely different tactical approach. When someone types best agency near me, Google isn't looking for the best agency in the world, right? It's specifically hunting for the most relevant, highly trusted option within just a few miles of that user's exact GPS location. And here is the toolkit used to capture those high-intent local customers and completely dominate the Google Maps pack. First up, local SEO essentials, like your Google Business Profile optimization. Then, accurate NAP details are absolutely critical. That's your name, address, and phone number. They have to be identical everywhere on the web. You also need review management because, let's face it, real humans click based on star ratings. And finally, local citations and maps, plus geo-targeted content built specifically around your exact city or neighborhood. Finally, part 5, the cost of ranking, real-world investments. We've talked a lot about architecture. Now let's translate these concepts into real-world business expenses. Now, what's really interesting here is this starting number, 32,000 rupees. According to the source pricing data, this is the yearly cost for foundational SEO research and market fit. That includes deep keyword research and comprehensive site audits. It anchors our discussion perfectly, showing that professional visibility requires a structured financial commitment right from the starting line. It's an investment, for sure, not an afterthought. Walking through this pricing matrix really grounds the massive, abstract concepts we just learned into actual business expenses. From technical SEO scaling to 72,000 rupees a year, to off-page SEO at 66,000 yearly, to intense digital PR campaigns topping 110,000 rupees, this highlights a hard truth. Achieving and maintaining page 1 isn't a one-time purchase. It's a required ongoing utility bill for prime digital real estate. And that leads directly to this core philosophy: ongoing optimization cycles, not short-lived gains. The recurring monthly pricing structure we just explored connects right back to the source's absolute insistence on continuous tracking, updates, and maintenance. The internet changes every single day. Competitors update their sites, user behavior shifts, search algorithms are constantly evolving. If you stop optimizing, you don't just stay in place. You start sinking. Which leaves us with one final, vital question to consider. Based on these pillars we've uncovered, the technical DNA, the digital trust, the local signals, is your website actually built to be found, or is it currently digitally invisible? Take a hard look at your own online presence today, using the blueprint we just explored. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning and keep building.